Hey, this is Pete Thorn, and this is 5-minute lesson number 2. So this lesson's all about how to add some chromaticism and color tones to your blues and blues rock playing. When I look at what I do, I'm playing kind of a hybrid of different scales when I'm improvising within a rock context most of the time. Okay, so let's take it in the key of A, and we'll start out with the basic A pentatonic scale. Okay, we all know that one. The first color tone that we all usually learn to add is the flat fifth, or the blue note, which in this case is E flat. Okay, so, and it sounds like this. Okay, now what really makes it sound like blues though to me, unless you're playing in a strict minor blues, there's always seems to be this interplay in between the minor and major thirds. Okay, and so in other words, okay, what I'm doing there is I'm hammering on C to C sharp, and that's that minor third into major third interplay. And you know, you never kind of play this when you're playing a rock or blues rock lick. You don't go, you know, you tend to go and kind of bend that third up into the from the minor third to the major third. Or maybe that, where you might slide from the minor third into the major third, maybe resolve on the root, something like that. And it really does all depend where you start and where you end. In other words, where you resolve the lick, because you can kind of play really anything in the middle, and it kind of goes by and just sounds like color. And as long as you end in the right place, it's kind of like falling down the stairs and landing on your feet. You're going to be fine. So I tend to use the Dorian mode a lot when I'm playing in a rock or blues rock context. I really like it. And in the key of A, if you were to add to the pentatonic scale, the second and the sixth, okay, the notes B and F sharp, you're playing in Dorian mode then, and it sounds like this. Okay, but if I'm playing all those notes, I'm invariably going to throw in the blues note, okay, the E flat in this case. Okay, and I'm going to do that interplay between the major and minor third much of the time as well. Okay, C to C sharp. So if we take all those notes and we throw them all into one great big hybrid scale, you end up with something that sounds like this. Okay, and that is the hybrid scale that, you know, 90% of the time when I'm improvising in a blues rock context, I'm playing all those notes within, you know, one form or another. And it really is where you start and where you end, and the stuff in the middle is all just color, and it's up to your personal taste and how you use it. Something like this. You know, I'm kind of throwing all those notes in and just mixing them up, and at that point it's up to you. Okay, so one more really cool example. The song I'm the One by Van Halen, the rhythm riff goes something like this. Okay, so it's definitely like a blues rock number. And it's in the key of A, which makes it nice for our discussion here. Ed plays a lick in towards the beginning of the song that sounds like this. Okay, and if we're to take that lick and let's transpose it down an octave into the position we've been working in and then analyze it, okay? It's basically, you're going to start on the 5th string at the 4th fret, the note C sharp, hammer on to the 5th fret and the 7th fret, so 4, 5, 7. Same thing on the 4th string. Twice on the 3rd string. Okay, once on the 2nd string. Once on the 1st string. And back on A. The 5th fret, ending on the root. Okay, so it's obviously just a nice shape that falls under the fingers and is easy to play. It flows, but there's some really outside notes in it for the song that's being played. Basically, he starts on the major third. Okay, the note C sharp on the 4th fret of the 5th string. Okay, and there's that note is arguably out of the key. Okay, and then he kind of moves to the Dorian mode on the 4th and 3rd strings. We get to the 2nd string and he plays the blues note, the E flat, and then we get to the 1st string and he plays the note A flat and ends back on A. Well, that A flat is really out of the key. It's a major 7th when you're in A, and there's nothing major about this song. It's definitely, you don't hear that. That's the note A flat. And he plays it up an octave there on the first string. So, you know, my point is basically, it doesn't really matter. The lick sounds great. It's, you know, a signature Eddie Van Halen thing. And, you know, Eddie was always famous for saying, if it sounds good, it is good. You know, if it sounds right, it is right. You know, don't let somebody tell you it's not, that kind of thing. And it basically follows my thinking. You know, whatever comes in the middle is cool, especially if it goes by fast. It's like, as long as you start in the right place and end in the right place, you're cool. So, great example of using the major 7 within a blues rock, almost a minor blues context. It's odd, but it works. All right, see ya.